mystery superstars are always a big letdown, aren't they? But this one's going to be different. I'm absolutely sure of it. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this, another episode of 1998 Was It Great? Tonight, it's February 1998, so we are going to look at No Way Out of Texas, the last pay-per-view on the road to WrestleMania. We're live at the Compaq Center in Houston, Texas, which was home to the 1989 Royal Rumble. It was home to this show. It was home to the live SmackDown that they did after 9/11, and it was home to Bad Blood 2003, if Wikipedia is to be believed. And when would Wikipedia ever lie to us? It's now a church, believe it or not, and it must be a fucking big one, because this place has got 16,110 fans on hand. On the free-for-all, Doc Hendricks tells us that Shawn Michaels won't be there because he suffered a back injury. If you've been watching my Raw reviews, you'll know that I mentioned that this back injury hasn't been mentioned. Bear in mind, it was suffered at the Royal Rumble. It hasn't been mentioned on any WWF program, as far as I can tell, until this moment. My goodness me. The boos for Shawn Michaels are actually quite loud. Bear in mind, we're in Houston, Texas, in his home state. I'm expecting him to be cheered like he was at the Royal Rumble in 1997, but no. No, it's no. Doc says there's been a lot of speculation who's Shawn Michaels' replacement will be, and the WWF have decided that the main event will now be non-sanctioned. Also, on the free-for-all, we get a classic Botchamania moment as Vader is being interviewed by Sonny, and in the middle of the interview, Hawk pops up through the door behind him, and the look of, oh fuck, on his face is just priceless. The card looks alright. Other than Godwinns versus Quebecers, which I don't give a shit about. So, let's go on with it. So, in the opening contest, the Headbangers defeated Marc, Mero, and Mansondust in a rubbish opener. Sable, as you can probably imagine, is mega over. Mero isn't happy about this. Goldust seems to have got stuck on the Mansondust gimmick that he's been working the last couple of weeks. Mero gets on the mic and says there's only room in this ring for one sexy lady. So get to the back. Sable, yeah, he chooses Luna over Sable, which is funny. Match isn't very interesting, to be honest. Thrasher is whacked headfirst into ring steps, and it looks like he's busted open hard way. I've watched it back 3 times. I can't see a blade job there. It looks like his face went into the corner of the ring step. Like that. That's a corner. I do mimes on my vid. That's throwing me. Yeah, it looks like his head goes into the corner, and that legitimately busts him open. He plays Headbanger in peril as the crowd are utterly uninterested, apart from a very short Mero sucks chant. Mero gets 2 off a horrible looking powerbomb, but the TKO is countered into a nice DDT by Thrasher, who gets the hot tag to Mosh and cleans house. Headbangers go for the save dive, but it's broken up by Luna, and here's Sable to brawl with Luna. The girls want to go at it. TKO for Mosh. But while the girls are being separated by their respective guys, Mosh swaps places with Thrasher. Mero comes stomping over. Thrasher rolls him up for the win. And that's that, I suppose. Big brawl after the bell between the girls. Sets up the mixed tag for Mania, I suppose. But it was just completely uninteresting. And we're 13 minutes and 27 seconds, so it's way too long. And it was really boring, and the crowd couldn't give a flying fuck about it in the slightest. Apart from fucking Sable. Speaking of Sable, after the bell, Mero and Sable argue, and when Sable shoves Mero to the mat, big pop for that. And then Kevin Kelly and the Jackal shill the superstar line. Then Owen Hart couldn't give a damn who replaces Shawn Michaels, but he's going to work with Stone Cold if they can stay out of each other's way, and he's going to break Triple H's legs. Next, Taka Michinoku defeating Pantera in a good match to retain the Light Heavyweight Championship. Sonny does ring announcing. I've been saying on my Raw reviews that it's just like they don't have a clue what to do with her at the moment, so she's just doing guest refereeing and ring announcing and all that. Brian Christopher comes out to do guest commentary. Bad feeling about this one. Some good spots in this one. Lovely plancha by Pantera. Taka responds with a springboard cross body. Suicide dive by Pantera drives Taka into the ring barrier. He follows up. He starts to work with the back, so he follows up with a nice tiltable backbreaker, camel clutch, lovely Mexican surfboard stretch. He continues on the back with a tope con hilo right over the top rope, onto the back. That's because where Taka's on the outside, lying down. So he does the tope con hilo right over the top onto the back. That's fucking gorgeous. It's psychology, it's storytelling, it's wrestling. Crowd don't give a flying fuck, as you can probably imagine. They go back inside where Pantera puts like a half bow and arrow lock on. That's really nice. And then hits a nice backbreaker, followed by another tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, followed by a Rana off the top. Moonsault gets 2. Second one misses. Taka tries the driver, but he can't lift Pantera because of the injured back. Oh, I love that. But then he hits a powerbomb, a missile dropkick, and he hulks up enough to get the Michinoku driver for the win at 10 minutes and 9 seconds. I really enjoyed this match, but this one honestly could have been completely and utterly derailed because this one was hard to sit through for one reason only, and that is that Brian Christopher and Jerry Lawler on commentary were truly horrible to listen to. Like, it's the type of thing that you'd mute the TV for. If this was on Raw, you would turn it over onto something else. You turn it over to Nitro. It was so bad. I mean, for example, Brian calling him a slit eye. You start going, shut up. You know, I get it that he's a heel and you want to see him get his ass whipped and all that, but it's so off-putting. After the bell, Brian is vexed, wants to get in the ring. Lawless tries to stop him, tries to hold him back. So Taka does a splash onto the two of them off the top rope. So that's something, I guess. In the back, Cactus and Chainsaw talk about getting revenge on the Outlaws. And then the Godwinns defeating the Quebecers in the first of 2 dud matches. Heel versus heel, so the crowd don't give a fuck. I don't care. The commentators don't care. At one point, right, get this, yeah? At one point, Jim Ross says something about Bill Clinton. And King says, this is exact quote, word for word quote, yeah? Don't get me started on Bill Clinton. Where's Lee Harvey Oswald when we need him? Only people who care about this match are the vendors who are selling hot dogs. I bet they made a fucking killing during this match. Phileas Lariat gets the win or something like that, don't care. Doc Hendricks talks to the Outlaws about who their partner is. They don't know, and they talk about respect. If you call now, you can get a Stone Cold t-shirt, a Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt in a tin for $30. And then Cornette tells Bradshaw that Jeff Jarrett will break his leg with a figure 4. Speaking of which, Bradshaw then defeated Jeff Jarrett in a rubbish match via disqualification, which means that Jeff Jarrett retains the NWA North American Championship. The ref sends the Rock and Roll Express and Barry Windham to the back before the match. He allows Cornette to stay because he's got a referee's license. We recently ran a storyline like this. It was last year when I was working for GPW, we did a storyline like this. At the time, I thought, that is fucking stupid, because the point of this one is, if you're going to do stories like that, you've got to have a manager's license to be ringside. You've got to mention it all the time. You've got to be consistent with it. Basically, it works like this. The way I see it is, this last couple of weeks on Raw, we've been having preview matches for the War of Attrition that we're going to see later on tonight, aren't we? Right? And in that, you've had the DOA members and Ahmed and Ken Shamrock versus the various members of the nation. And all of the rest of their team have been on the outside, none of whom have managers' licenses. They were allowed to stay on the outside, but the Rock and Roll Express and Barry Windham have to go backstage because they don't have managers' license. There's no consistency to it, so why bring it up? It's just a plot point that they used there and then. And you say, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then you say, so if you stop and think about it, it's like, no, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Bradshaw takes his chaps off after the bell, those big leather chaps he's got, and starts whacking Jeff Jarrett in front of it. Doesn't get a disqualification, because it's WCW. Fuck rules. Oh wait, wrong company. No idea why that doesn't call a disqualification at all. Bradshaw owns until he goes after Cornette. Jeff Jarrett takes over. Cornette hit Bradshaw's leg with a tennis racket. Jeff Jarrett works legs, obviously setting up for the figure 4. Bradshaw gets a 4-way slam. Crowd have been quiet all match. Don't give a fuck about Bradshaw, even though he's in his home state. Bradshaw doesn't bother selling the leg whatsoever. Jeff Jarrett uses the loaded tennis racket of death to get it right in front of the referee. That gets the disqualification. NWA comes down, guys come down, beat on Bradshaw until the Legion of Doom make the save, and that gets a massive LOD chant. When they announce Bradshaw as your winner, silence. It's like, right, yay. Couldn't give a flying fuck about this match. It was so bad. It was boring. It was long. I guess they were trying to go for an old school NWA feel. It's just that with the two guys that they had in the ring, that was never going to work, was it? Triple H says that everyone wants to be Indie Generation X, but he doesn't want anyone. He wants it to be a handicap match. Cole points out that the WWF will probably add someone to the match. Triple H says he doesn't care. Then Dogg talks to Fruit. He doesn't say anything of note, but Jesus wept. This promo is so funny. I'd honestly recommend. I'd probably say this promo is the best part of this show because if you haven't seen it, basically what happens is you've got Farouk talking to Doc Hendricks, right? You've got Farouk here and you've got Rock here. Farouk, rah. Rock keeps pointing to himself, and he points to the back. And then they show what had happened on Raw the previous week, where Rock hit Shamrock right in the face. So he mimes, he sort of just. And it's like, and they keep going. Farouk's talking, so he keeps rolling his eyes and stuff like that. It's so funny. It means that you can't concentrate on what Farouk's saying at all. You're just sitting like, my missus watched it with me. She laughed. I was like, I rounded back, like, just watch this. Don't watch Farouk, watch The Rock. And when she started laughing, I was like, yeah, I know this one's good. So, the War of Attrition. Ken Shamrock, Ahmed Johnson, and the DOA defeating the Nation in a War of Attrition match. I was worried about the entrances about this one because I thought to myself, like, with all of us, the Nation will all come out together, but we're going to have some long ass entrances. But no, they all come out to Ken Shamrock's music, the DOA do, and Ahmed Johnson, which is good. The commentators make a point of telling us that this is a War of Attrition and that this is elimination rules. That is important, right? Because there are no eliminations in this one whatsoever. After D'Lo and Karma go at it with chains, Henry wants Johnson, which for some reason gets a really big pop. And you start thinking to yourself, right, it'll be the two big men going at it, right? I get that. But they're both wank. Why would you care to see that? But they really want to see it. Johnson slams Henry, so Henry tags out. So the fans let Rock know that he sucks. Johnson goes for a pour-over plunge. Rock stops it. Abel gets a nice power slam through. There's very fast tags from both teams. Hit a move, get out sort of thing. Rock gets a sweet DDT on Shamrock, and Jim Ross calls Rock's dad a former WWF champion. I suppose that's me being pedantic that he was a former tag team champion. Yes, he was a former champion, but he specifically said that Rocky Johnson was a former WWF champion. Anyway, Shamrock is your MMA fighter in peril. Lukewarm tagged to Skull. People's Elbow is still not getting a reaction. Skull is your biker in peril until D'Lo misses a moonsault. Shamrock and Rock tag him. Massive brawl breaks out, and they all clear out apart from Rock and Shamrock. Belly-to-belly suplex for Rock, a Fujiwara arm bar, and a ankle lock get the win. Not at the same time. The arm bar is used as a takedown move. Ankle lock gets the win. And, I've actually forgotten how long that one went. Decent match compared to the last two, which of course are both dud rated, but nothing special. There's a lot of wasted space talent in there. So, the people who were in there are actually quite decent, sort of managed to elevate the match up a little bit. But it wasn't anything special. Right, finish those, it sets up Rock versus Shamrock at WrestleMania. That's all good. After the bell, Rock and Farouk argue until Farouk forces Rock to make the Nation salute, which is all good. In the back, Austin doesn't care who the mystery opponent is. He just wants to get some ass. What is it with this fucking stupid sport? Kane then defeating Vader in a good match. So, build-up to this one's been really good. Kane demolishes Vader, right? Every single time Vader makes a comeback, gets any sort of offense in, Kane just shrugs it off like it is absolutely nothing. Kane hits a vertical suplex, which the commentators ignore. Vader's quite a big guy. I'd pop like a bandit for that if I was a commentator. Vader with a pair of avalanches that Kane no-sells. Kane responds with a DDT. Vader splashes Kane, goes up top, hits the moonsault. Kane no-sells it. Why the fuck not? Fire extinguisher used by Vader, who follows up with a jackknife powerbomb, which Kane no-sells. Chokeslam and a tombstone get the win for Kane. Now, that probably sounds, on paper, sounds awful, right? But it's one of those, right, how do you book a monster to become an unstoppable monster? And it's like, well, you have him beat an unstoppable monster. It's nice and simple. So he absolutely demolished Kane. Some people may not like this. I think it is the absolutely spot-on right booking, because it means that when they go to WrestleMania, the people are going to believe that Kane is an equal for The Undertaker, and that is important, isn't it? I like that a lot. I think it told a great story. And just for good measure, after the match, Kane takes a wrench to fucking Vader's face. Yay! All good. And in our main event, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Owen Hart, Chainsaw Charlie, and Cactus Jack defeating Triple H, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, and the mystery partner in a match. So, who is the mystery partner? Well, is it a returning superstar? No. Is it someone from ECW? No. Is it someone returning from WCW? No. Hell, is it someone making their debut in the company? No. Do you know who it is? If you don't, I'm sure you already know. I'm just building this up a little bit. No. From Los Boricuas, it's Savio Vega, even. And big chorus of boos to that. Because it's one of those, oh, yay, I think, sort of things. No one cared. That is the worst surprise ever. I mean, this is up there with Survivor. Was it Survivor Series '96, where there was a mystery opponent and it turned out to be Superfly Snuka, and it's like, ugh, it's one of those surprise opponents are always a letdown. Here's another example of it. I said that before on Vids. Austin gets pop of the show for his entrance. The 8 men split into 4 brawls to start, and it's hard to actually keep track of what's going on with which. Owen power slams Gunn through a table, for example, what's on Sharpshooter. Hunter breaks that. Like I say, it's impossible to follow what's going on everywhere, but there's weapon shots for everyone. DDT on Funk by Hunter gets 2, Sharpshooter for Hunter, but Dogg breaks it. He powerbombs Charlie onto 2 chairs as the man finally get into their corners. Power driver on Funk by Gunn onto a trash can lid. Dogg hits a back suplex on Funk into the lid. Funk tries to make the tag. Gunn tries to stop him, but this is this is awesome. This is one of the best moments in wrestling I've ever seen, genuinely, right? As Funk sort of crawling over the ring, Gunn goes through the ropes and runs at his opponents to try and stop the tag. Austin just happens to have a trash can in his hand and fucking launches it into Gunn's face. And the sound it makes is just glorious. And the sell by Gunn is also glorious. It genuinely makes you smile. Charlie finally gets a hot tag to Cactus, who sets up some wood on Dogg's face and then whips Gunn into it, then hits a double on DDT. Mandible claw for Dogg, but it's stopped by a low blow from Hunter. Gunn DDT's Cactus on the outside, follows up with a shot from the steps. Inside, Hunter gets 2 off a suplex, hits a wishbone split. Savio Vega wraps Cactus in barbed wire, including round his mouth, and in the balls. That's a nasty looking visual. But it doesn't get the reaction you would expect from the crowd. It's like, he's been wrapped in barbed wire, crowd. And don't give a shit. Entertain me, bitch. Tag to Austin, that's all I'm here to see, sort of thing, Gunn uses a chair but hits Dogg by accident, and then the hot tag to Austin, who literally cleans house and hits a stunner on Dogg. I mean, his involvement in the match is absolutely minimal. And that gets the win. Stunner for Gunn after the bell, and then Chyna gets in Austin's face. She tries so hard to ignore him. No, so he tries so hard to ignore it. It's like, no, I'm not doing anything. And she keeps pulling him back, and he keeps trying to get out of the ring. Like, no, not interested. And then she sat there like this, and it's just one of those, yeah, you're going to go now, aren't you? Stunner for Chyna, and that is that. Fun match. I don't know what... It's one of those matches where Owen and Hart did nothing at all. Once it became... when it was a brawl at the start, all good, yeah? But once it became a standard tag match, Owen and Hart wasn't tagged in at all, so he was a bit wasted out there. The worst surprise entrant I think I can ever recall. But the match was fun. And it's a 3-star kind of match. I'm happy with that. So 2 good matches. The main event was good, and the light heavyweight title match was good if you watch it with no commentary on. Seriously, I give it 3 stars, but I could easily knock off a star for Brian Christopher's disgraceful commentary. It's incredible to think that guy, watching it from this time point, it's incredible knowing that this guy is going to get ridiculously over in the next couple of years as part of Too Cool, because he's such an arrogant prick. And you start going, why would anyone cheer you? Why would anyone cheer that? Let's put it this way, right? If you were watching at the time, this didn't really do much for WrestleMania. I suppose the opener did, and the War of Attrition. I mean, we kind of knew that Rock and Shamrock wanted to fight again, because they fought Royal Rumble, didn't they? So it didn't really add anything to the Mania card that we didn't know already. Like I say, other than the opener. It's one of those shows where it's if you haven't seen it, there's nothing that I would recommend seeing here. There's nothing must see. Let's put it that way. I'd give it 3.5, maybe 4 out of 10 at very best. Let's put it this way, on pay-per-view, if nothing else, this month, belongs to WCW. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, I'm either going to do Uncensored or I'm going to do WrestleMania 14. Keep an eye out for that one. What did you think of No Way Out of Texas 1998? Please let me know in the comment section down below. I don't reply to them all, but I read every single one. I've been Marc P. This has been another episode of 1998. Was it great? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Take it easy, guys.